to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Around Kansas starts with the story of the Roberts family, who founded the Chase County Rodeo in 1938, now called the Flint Hills Rodeo, the longest running rodeo in the state. Next, learn about James Reynolds from Oskaloosa, best known for his work on Days of Our Lives. Then enjoy a poem from Ron Wilson, and finish up with a story about recent festivities honoring Orin Friesen. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the Yellow Brick Road. It's Wednesday again already.
Gosh, it comes every week. You noticed that?
Yeah, it's around Kansas time. I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
Yeah, and so
Great
today, of course, we do this at the Dillon House in Topeka, which is available for all kinds of events, so call them if you would like one. Today we're in Rick Creedy's office. He had to run some errands, so he said, oh, go ahead, use my office. So we thought, okay.
Really, isn't this nice?
Yeah.
And he's got this gorgeous view of the Capitol out his window. It's just, It's a beautiful place. And of course, it's an event every time Frank and I show up, isn't it, Frank?
Yes, it is nice that we show up at my age. Just getting up in the morning is a good thing. So
we've got some great stuff for you coming up, and I want to let you know that I am writing a column in Grass and Grain, and Grass and Grain has tens of thousands of subscribers around the state of Kansas and has been serving folks interested in ag for a long, long time, many decades. So I'm just really thrilled to be a part of that. And if you'll watch for my column, my good friend Jim Gray has a column in there, and Baxter Black does. So I'm in great company with those folks, and looking forward to being a part of that. And we'll talk about in the column some of the stories that we cover every week on Around Kansas. So if you happen to miss a story or maybe need a few more details, you can look for it in Grass and Grain.
Cool. And me, well, every Saturday, of course, I'm on WREN Radio, which is at renradio.net. I'm Frankie C. on the air, so now you know a little bit of a
Cleverly
secret.
Disguised as Frankie C. Yeah, that was really...
11 to 2, and I play music from the 50s and 60s, and they kind of let me sneak over into the 40s, and I also play some folk music, and it's kind of a fun time, so that's what I do.
Hey, you know what's coming up this weekend? What? The State Fair starts on Friday.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, so hoping to get down at some point. September is just so incredibly busy, but hoping to scoot down to Hutch for a day or, you know, a few hours or something. It's just the best that the state has to offer. So if you get some time and spend as much as you can, but a little while anyway, you know, a day or two, take the family over to the State Fair. Always some great entertainment, as you're talking about. I know you know a lot of the folks who've played at the fair, so always a good time.
I've got to tell a story on this. Back when Linda and I were recently married and young and all that, we had this giant jar full of pennies, and we went to the state fair and we paid for everything with pennies, which was we thought was funny, but of course not too many other people that helped us thought it was too humorous. But anyway,
I had a cousin back home in the hills who paid his county taxes with I think it was a wheelbarrow full of pennies, but he rolled pennies into the courthouse, and I don't think they were real thrilled with that either, but they took them, and by golly, they counted them too.
The state fair is a lot of fun, and you have to, of course, see the butter sculptures. You can't not see the butter sculptures and have a corn dog.
Making me hungry just thinking about it.
We'll
be right back.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Oh, we're back. Hello. Hey, here several weeks ago we talked about going first Sunday down to
Cassidy.
Cassidy, that's it, yes. Now I can remember. Well, you go through a little town called Strong City. Strong City and Cassidy are about 30, 40 miles away, but you go through Strong City on the way.
In the lovely Flint Hills of Kansas.
Right. So anyway, Strong City has some history with a famous family. So we're going to talk about that a little bit this morning too.
Yeah, some horses and some famous folks and a little rodeo.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. In Kansas, the Roberts family is synonymous with rodeo. That rodeo tradition began in the Roberts pasture near Strong City. That's where Emmett, his son Ken, and his son-in-law Eddie Boyson put on what they called the first Chase County Rodeo in 1938. It was dubbed the Flint Hills Rodeo the next year and is still going strong, the oldest consecutive rodeo in the state. Emmett became a legend in his own time, promoting rodeo by being a contestant and contractor, producer, and director of the Flint Hills Rodeo Board for 37 years. He was the father of 3 outstanding champions, Marge, Gerald, and Ken. The Roberts' other children, Cliff, Gloria, and Howard, worked in the background. Marge became the women's bronc riding champ in 1940. Ken was the world champion bull rider in 1943, 44, and 45. Gerald was the first Kansas cowboy to become all-around champion cowboy of the world in 1942 and again in 1948. He is the only cowboy in the world to win a championship as a member of the Turtle Association and again as a member of the RCA. Gerald recalled that his dad used to buy young colts by the carload. Ken, Marge, and I used to break them while riding to school. I guess that is how we really learned to ride. The awards and halls of fame accumulated by the Roberts family could fill a corral. To honor this rodeo family who founded the rodeo in Strong City, a 6 by 20 foot mural was erected and dedicated on the Flint Hills Rodeo grounds in June of 1994.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We're having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
Now's the time to overseed your lawn. The success of your lawn depends on the quality you plant and the proper fertilizer. Plant 100% weed-free seed with top-rated varieties tested by KSU. Always use Fertilome New Lawn Starter for faster, stronger root development. Don't waste time and money with lower quality seed from the box stores.
Join the Jackson's Greenhouse WIBW Garden Club and save 10% on your lawn seed and Fertilome New Lawn Starter.
Heinen Brothers Ag Service understands the risk and rewards of farming. As fourth-generation farmers themselves, they understand the importance of using the correct products on every acre. Farmers helping farmers. Heinen Brothers Ag offers quality aerial and ground application. fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia. Call today at 800-760-4964 or find us online at HeinenBrothersAg.com.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
Frank, you know, when I was growing up, even though it wasn't in Kansas, people all over the country, or like me, grew up watching the stories every day, and Mom and my aunts, and especially, and then some of the guys hated to admit it, but they were watching the stories too, and those soap operas have just become such a piece of our culture and just so ingrained. It's like family, really, that you feel about. And you've got a great story today about a soap opera star from right here in Kansas.
Yeah, Jim Reynolds, of course, his professional name is James Reynolds, but Jim grew up in Oskaloosa, and Linda and I, my wife and I, were involved with the Dale Easton Players for about 26 years. And Jim was part of the Dale Easton Players at one time. We did shows downstairs in McFarland's, if you can believe it or not. We did regular shows, and we did The Drunkard there. Then we went to Apple Valley Farm. And those were the years that Jim was involved in the Dale Easton Players. I remember, because I laugh about it every time I think about it, he played Miles Gloriosus, and a funny thing happened on the way to the Forum. And I just remember, because he has this big, deep voice, and there's a line that Miles has, "Step back, I take big steps." And I can just see Jim saying that today. But Jim joined the cast of Days of Our Lives, I believe in 1983. They're celebrating 50 years on the air this year, and Jim's been with them for about 30 of those years. Of course, he's Abe Carver on the show, and he left the show for a little bit, but he has come back, and he's been mayor, police chief, the commissioner of police, and everything else on there.
Well, he's one of those stalwarts on the show too, and he, like you said, that voice and everything, he's got a great commanding presence, a trustworthiness, no doubt, because he's a native Kansan. Let's take a look.
Oskaloosan, Jim Reynolds. Millions of viewers have been following the tangled storyline of soap opera Days of Our Lives for 50 years. For many of those, James Reynolds has portrayed Abe Carver, policeman, mayor, commissioner, an all-round decent guy and heartthrob. The Oskaloosa native graduated high school and then joined the Marines, where he worked in information services and was a reporter for the Windward Marine. Back in Kansas, he attended Washburn and worked as a DJ at Wren Radio. He reviewed films for the Topeka Daily Capital, giving him the opportunity to interview the likes of Jack Nicholson, Michael Douglas, and Peter Fonda. He found a passion for theater and was part of the Dale Easton Players, who performed in Topeka and at Apple Valley Farm. So did his close friend Marilyn Schreffler, who paved the way to Hollywood. She and Jim shared the same theatrical agent. Marilyn appeared in several national TV commercials, and just before her untimely death due to cancer, she was the ghost in the inn in the Bob Newhart Show. Jim and his wife, actress Lissa Lang, own and operate the Fremont Center Theater in South Pasadena. Jim heads Free State Productions, a film and TV production company involved in documentaries, movies, and music videos, as well as making occasional appearances on stage in Los Angeles. He starred in Buffalo Soldier, a drama about black U.S. Army troops in the American West following the Civil War, for which he was nominated for an NAACP Theater Award. He also starred with other Vietnam veterans in the acclaimed drama Tracers. Reynolds tours colleges in his one-man show, I Too Am America. The show, written and performed by Reynolds, is a commentary on the African-American experience from the time the first slaves were brought to this country up to the present day. Reynolds' charitable work includes raising money for South Pasadena's high school basketball team and the Pasadena chapter of the Ronald McDonald House. Reynolds has also toured with the USO to the Mediterranean, Kuwait, and Afghanistan to meet and show support for our troops overseas. He also participated in the first USO Celebrity Education Program. One of Reynolds' greatest honors was being added to the Kansas Historical Society's list of famous Kansans. Another honor came in 2003 when Reynolds was awarded the Heroes and Legends TV Film Award, which recognizes outstanding contributions made in the entertainment industry.
From the Land of Kansas is a trademark program that helps Kansas businesses grow, produce, process, or manufacture Kansas products. Let's meet Blue Sky Miniature Horse Ranch, located 6 miles outside of Hays, Kansas. In 1992, owners Marion and Donna Schmidt purchased their first miniature show horse, and since then they have become enthusiastic about training and showing their herd. After presenting these horses in state and national shows, they now offer tours at their ranch, which is specially designed for these miniature horses. The public is invited for a tour that includes seeing ribbons and trophies won by the horses, a grooming demo for the show arena, a special imprint demo of foals, and the opportunity to brush and pet these special horses. Cart rides are available for a small fee. Cameras are welcome, but no video, please. For reservations, call 785-625-6725. And for additional information, visit blueskyhorses.com.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Some years ago, I was leafing through an old issue of Time magazine, and I came across an article that caught my eye. It was headed, "The Animal That Changed History." This poem is entitled, "Horses Made History." A national magazine reported for all to see what it called the animal that changed history. The animal which provided this historic force was that wonderful critter which we call the horse. In the history of man across centuries of time, we find the contributions of the species equine. Columbus brought horses into the brand new world when he landed at Hispaniola with the Spanish flag unfurled. Hernando Cortez came to Mexico in 1519 and conquered the natives with power not yet seen. He brought Spanish-blooded horses into this new land. Across the new continent they would breed and expand. Those horses gave native tribesmen a whole new front, with amazing new power to roam and to hunt. The horse transformed the Plains Indian lives, helping tribes to move and get food to thrive. Those capable riders on their horses' back gave warriors dominant strength with which to attack. For the explorers and cowboys of later years, the horse enabled the conquering of the frontier. So let's all recognize through this discourse the historic contribution of the American horse. Happy trails.
The We started farming in 1970. It was harder work then than it is now, a lot more physical work and the wear and tear on my knees and my body. Now here I'm 70 years old. I started having knee pain here 4 or 5 years ago, and so I was looking for a stem cell clinic, and lo and behold, my good friend John Farley and Ken Wood, who'd been customers and friends for a number of years, opened their clinic, and in about 2 months my heel was a lot better, and then at the end of 3 months and then going on 4, my knee started making significant improvement, and it's sure been a blessing, because before I had the stem cells, I'd be driving a tractor, and if I sat in a tractor for 2 or 3 hours, when I got out I'd have to stop and get the kinks out of my knee and shake it, and today that's not a problem.
Now another gardening tip with Annette Jackson.
Fall is a great time to plant trees, shrubs, and perennials. Root development this fall means more growth with less watering next year. For faster root growth, always use Fertilome Root Stimulator. It is the only stimulator which contains IBA rooting hormone. Use Fertilome tree and shrub food after the plant has been planted for a month.
Save 25% now on Jackson's homegrown hardy perennials. Let Jackson's friendly staff help you select the best plants for your landscape.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
Watch AGam in Kansas online at agaminkansas.com. Around Kansas, brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. Go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
So there's just no end to the talented people in Kansas, and this is the great thing about our job. We get to brag about all our friends. Yeah. So now that we've gotten James Reynolds, I want to talk about my friend Orin Friesen, and of course he's a friend to so many folks. He is the manager at the Prairie Rose Chuckwagon and a musician himself, and he just celebrated 50 years in music and radio. Wow. So they had a wonderful celebration for him down at the Prairie Rose, and a little bit of roasting going on too, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. Just take a look. Chances are you have heard Orin Friesen. On the radio or on the stage, Orin has spent 50 years playing and promoting other folks' music or making music himself. Recently, his friends and fans gathered to pay tribute to his career and offer some good-natured ribbing in the process. The festivities at the Prairie Rose Chuckwagon, where Orin is manager, also benefited Crosswalk on the Prairie, a faith-based program that helps young men aging out of foster care. The atmosphere could not have been more celebratory as Orin and his wife Bekki greeted guests. Images of Orin and various music legends that he has interviewed flashed on the screen, including Johnny Cash. Then the crowd took their seats to hear from Orin's colleagues, John Speer, Stan Greer, Larry Waggoner, Jim Farrell, Dan Dillon, Scott Piper, and Dan Hayes. Video greetings came from Riders in the Sky, Johnny Western, John McEuen, Red Steagall, and many others. Michael Martin Murphey highlighted the evening not by singing, but by his tongue-in-cheek praising of his longtime friend's commitment to family values through playing bluegrass and eschewing modern country music. He read the lyrics of some particularly violent and maudlin bluegrass standards to illustrate that point. The crowd laughed heartily and often. Throughout the fun and the heartfelt tributes, 2 comments stood out to me. John McEuen of the Nitty Gritty Band said to Orin, "You made me feel relevant." Dan Hayes, past president of the International Bluegrass Music Association, for whom Orin and Del Davis have produced award shows, talked about all the things Orin is not. Speaking of how Orin was always spotlighting others rather than himself, Dan said, "He's totally free of pretense. He is wholly lacking in deceit and corruption. He is a man of integrity. I have never seen someone with more friends," he said. "He is so sincere, so enthusiastic, and so dependable. Despite these shortcomings, he's survived in the music industry." We agree, and at Around Kansas, we join Orin's many friends in wishing him 50 more years.
Oh my, gee, this was fun today. It's fun every day to be with you here on Around Kansas. So, I'm Frank.
I'm Deb.
And we'll see you somewhere
around Kansas.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream. We're the best part